That make the picture look worse by any chance?
No. It is a lot quicker though.
I'm gonna move my head now. How long did it take to get to you?
Hold on.
Oh.
Say one after I say it, okay?
Okay.
One. 5 seconds.
Wow, I'm surprised it's that long still. Okay. That's better than it was though.
Yeah, definitely.
Got another secret weapon up my bum here I'm gonna pull out in a minute. To make this look even better.
That's gonna hurt, and I definitely wouldn't be on camera when you do that.
I'll step away. Where is that jagged rock? What's this? Oh no, wrong color. Dang it.
What, you gonna be like Bob Ross and like put a happy little rock there?
Yeah, kind of. For this.
Do you know who Bob Ross is?
Oh yeah, the painter.
Okay.
He died like was it last year or the year before?
Yeah.
PBS. Happy little trees.
I just didn't know if you caught the reference or not.
Oh yeah, I know Bob Ross is. So that's that one, and then this is that one, and this one looks stupid. Okay, we won't go that way. That's better.
Yeah, that's definitely Billy Bob.
Now the real question is, can I do like you're saying and copy these? Flip it, put it over here.
Take a box or create a box and copy that area and
Yeah.
then just...
Yeah, I can. I'm trying to debate if I want to do that next step I'm talking about first. I think I do. And that is to go over this with a blur. Just to soften that hard edge up a bit more. If I come over here, I haven't saved it yet. I'll zoom in on this. You see how it's like all jagged and stuff? Save this. Boom. It makes it look like it's integrated with the sand a little bit. Like you can see the rock into the first layer of sand or two.
Mm-hmm.
At least in my head, that's what I think it should be doing. This rock here looks stupid. Now it looks stupider. Dang, it's because it has grass over it.
You almost could cut that big bulge of rock out.
This one? I can't. That rock there is on that line, that darker blue line, and it has to be at that height for it to line up with all the tiles. So I want it to be able to line up this tile to line up with the edge of this one, the edge of itself, or the edge of this. So it's got to be right there. I'm sure that the person that created these did the same thing as far as trying to get it
Deciding
to.
where the yeah.
But I don't know what his line was, right? That's the rough part. Get rid of some of them dark edges a bit.
Was that like a feathering tool?
It's a blurring tool.
Okay.
It's basically the same type of thing that you're describing.
Yeah, it just softens everything, or the edges of it.
Okay, now let's save this as its own thing. Can I duplicate this layer? Nope. Why can't I not duplicate this layer? There we go. Backup of coolness. We'll turn that layer off. We'll keep the layer we were working with. And oh, we need to get rid of the green around the outside. Crap. Luckily, I've done that several hundred times today. We'll do that. We will modify expand 2 pixels. Make sure we get in there all the way. And delete. Okay, and then we'll
Should
take.
hire you to cut my grass. You get rid of grass quick.
Yeah, the problem is the bottom though. Look at it.
Ooh.
That's why I can't rotate them. They are different images on each side. Dang it. It's like it's all smooth here and all smooth there. All smooth there, but that bottom is completely different. The lighting on the... Yeah, the lighting's different too. See how it's all dark? I guess it's dark down there too. It's just not as much. I think I got to do it all by hand. Maybe I can get the middle. Like these two. Because they look to be identical. I'll just try it. This needs fixed though. Not liking it. Oops. I don't know what I did. No más, por favor. Come on. Photoshop. Did I make you go full screen?
I think you did.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's make another duplicate as a backup. Back up 601. Turn that back up off. Select the layer we're working with here. Get my marquee tool out. From that edge to that edge. Right there. Wow, I grabbed that right the first time. That's cool. So now Control Shift C, Control Shift V, I've pasted a copy. I go to the transform tool. I'm gonna want to rotate this 180. And then move it. I don't apply it yet. Move, please. Awesome, it doesn't fit. Okay, so we can't do the corners like that.
It's almost there.
Right, but like the jagged bottom is screwing it up.
Yeah. The bottom section wouldn't look bad there. Almost. I mean, you'd probably notice it a little bit, but
What just happened? Why can't I move it anymore? I can't move it up and down. I can move it. Oh, there it goes. Jeez. Is it because we're at the top?
probably.
No. There's still like a small gap up there. What in the world? There. So that one's right at that line that it needs to be at. And so is that one. I turn the bottom layer off. Sure, apply that. Whatever. Not gonna listen to me anyway. Yeah. Yeah, that looked right. Okay. Ooh, I might be able to outsmart this, maybe.
You're welcome.
If I take this corner, rotate it 180 and put it over here, that's the clean edge, which is what we have down there. Thank you, Fire, by the way. Didn't mean to ignore what you said. I just need to delete this off of here up to this point.
Yeah, I wasn't actually meaning to like do like a huge edge in the first place. I was like talking about taking maybe
One section at a time. Yeah, I should have done that
one
one.
section.
But I didn't. Oh, crap. So okay, I don't need that other window anymore to compare. Let's get some screen to work with here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I take my marquee tool on this layer, and do it 3 times so it gives me exactly what I want, because it doesn't ever give me what I want the first time. Taking it. That's 2. Okay. I delete that, and then turn on my other layer. What's it give us?
Better looking corner.
I need to fix this spot though first. That's all boogered up.
Yeah. That would work.
Yeah, I think it's gonna work when I'm all done. It's just gonna take a few minutes here. Does it not let me draw? These let me do a thing? Photoshop, you drive me nuts.
Hey, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette.
Okay. Hopefully I'm not still clicking on this when you get back.
Hopefully you're in the what?
I'm not clicking on the same thing trying to make it so that what I just did 10 minutes ago actually works. I don't... Oh. I won't be. I know what did happen.
You working on the wrong one?
I had an area selected, so that's all the places you can paint.
Oh.
Photoshop's weird like that. It's good, but...
Alright, I'll be right back.
Okay. So we want that to basically be the same as this, right? We want this to work up here. The lighting's not right, though. Right? This is light, this is dark. This is all light, this is dark. It's light, dark. If I rotated that, then this is going to be light instead of dark. This is dark and dark. I'm using Photoshop right at the moment. And it's, at the moment, I'm not really trying to do pixel art, right? I'm doing a different style. Let's do an experiment here. So if I marquee this, say for half a block wide. So this is Photoshop here, and I am using Unity for the development engine or game engine. Copy that. I'm gonna paste. Oh, right. I copied the mask instead of the layer. Copy that. What? Control Shift C. Control V. There we go. Why is it showing up behind? That's why. So if I rotated this now 180 degrees and continue to take it down, come on, get back up to the top, please. Okay, I'm gonna delete the whole layer then. So straight down. Click this to go 180. I didn't hold shift the first time, so it didn't go straight down. Can that edge work? Nope, it doesn't line up. That's a shame. Like, it kind of lines up with some of these, but most of them it doesn't. How did this guy build this thing then? Am I going about this the wrong way? That's another option. Am I going about this the wrong way? Do I take the rocks and paint the sand over top of them? Would that be easier? Because then I could go over the green parts. That's basically what I'm doing, though. Right? First off, let's get out of this. Delete that whole layer. If I painted over this, what's it look like? So it's doing this, right? And if I erase the rock or paint the sand, it's the same thing. But if I did that... Oh, what if I just did that? And said forget it. Full rock goes all the way in 2 layers. Like, I could just trace that rock, get rid of that whole thing. Down to that very point there, like that. I would know that would be retileable then. Come up here. Place these. I don't know, go down into there somehow. Basically meet up at the actual spots. Let's give it a shot. So let's add in a mask to this one. Start painting. Yeah, that'll take that out. Start painting over the green. With a much bigger brush. Just getting back to... Dang it. Copy. Any layers in this thing? Paste. Nope.
I'm back.
Hey,
Did you see your
Fire.
messages?
My messages. No. What? Oh, in Twitch, yeah.
Oh, okay. You checking?
Thank you, though. I do tend to... Although I've got my restream thing that goes ding when somebody messages.
Okay.
I'm contemplating if I need to start with a different approach again. So this will be like try number 5 or 4. Frustrating, but I think it might be a good thing. Get rid of all this junk. Oh, not that stuff. Not the rock. Dang it, not the rock. So G, and it's just flood fill that stuff.
The places where the little individual, I'll say grass bushes, where they've turned to now sand bushes, they look kind of off.
Yeah, they do.
If you like connected the sand points with them, you'd probably be okay, but it'd probably be easier than doing the whole thing like you were before.
Yes. I have a different approach completely in my mind, though. Trying to debate if it's going to help. And that approach is... The hill I was just going too high because I'm stupid. What if it was only one high? And I use this cross point, because it has a tile here, right? That's a tile block. So if I cut the rock off at this line here, it has to tile with every possible combination down below. So if I just follow these rock lines and always come down to the same point on this blue line here, the same rock, it should just tile. So it would be down to there, I guess. Cut that rock off and then cut all this junk off. All that junk out. Maybe that whole rock. And then that tiles to there. It tiles to here. What it won't tile to is this. Dang it. I would need to build the rock in there to make it look right. Which I don't have a rock to work with to do that. So I need to come outside of that and come down to this point down here then. Which means that might work. If I cut it like this. At that point. Go into that one a little bit. Up, back down. Let's do this. I'm gonna make a hole basically. Not that big. Right where I think this needs to be.
Hey, I'm getting kind of tired. You're gonna be on tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be on sometime.
Okay.
Night,
See you
Fry.
tomorrow. Night, everybody.
Oh, what if I added a guide? Oh, I'm a genius. How you do it, though? There we go. And then we can put on a guide for this. I might finally be onto something. Okay, where do you want this guide? Probably that spot there. We're looking at there. Because that triggers it to line up with these rocks and that gap and those rocks. And then one more down here. It's going to be that series of rocks. Yep. Okay, so view, show, grid is off. Let's see if we can make those guide colors a little darker or something. Something that's more visible. General, guides and slices, smart guides. I just want the guide color, come on. Don't make it hard. It's not there. I need to turn off the notifications in that Discord. Can't just select everything at those spots, right? But I could make a selection around there. That way we don't go outside those spots, maybe? But sometimes we do. It's only on those points that we care about, though. And I don't have the guide on, so I need the guide back on. The grid back on. So it's at that point where the grid and the guide line up that we care. How do you make the grid width or the guide width bigger? Barely see it. Photoshop, guide, color. And you can guide color in Photoshop. Discover. Oh, really? It's right there? Is that a different version? There you go. General. There it is. You like a hot pink or something? There we go. So the cross section of this guide and what's it called? A guide and a grid line. I'm trying to figure out where I can slice this up to make this texture fit. So I'm taking a hill to grass transition and turning it into a hill to sand transition. And you can see if I just change the colors, it looks like grass that's just sandy. So that's my dilemma I'm working on right now. There you go.
Hey, Tech.
Hey. Let's see, so let's beat that one. Sorry, I'm trying to mark all these spots I need to get it to line up with. It's gonna be, oh, wait a minute. That's a different one then, right? Corners, I guess we'll have to go to the pink spot. The intersection of the two pink lines. Means I need a much smaller brush. And I probably need a hard brush for this.
I didn't know
Anything?
you were working on a game until I logged back into your disc.
Yeah. It was going good until I started working on this photo stuff again, and now I'm want to pull my hair out. If I go like this, that'll work.
See if I can get the microphone. Discord.
Let me turn you up. I can barely hear you. Oh, you turned up all the way. You might need to move your mic closer to you then. I can hear what you said.
How about that?
About the same, actually. That I heard.
Yeah. It kind of has some brown and some green inside of it with the sand.
The link is that?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a
A little bit.
sand texture that I'm okay with, right? So this texture here is okay. I can work with this.
Yeah.
I can tolerate that. Let's put it that way. It's just getting it integrated with the rock texture to make it look nice. Because what I want to do is, in the game, you'll be able to walk anywhere in the sand, but you won't be able to walk up those hills. They're like a barrier for you, so it lets me do things from a design perspective.
Okay,
So-
so you're wanting to like build like sandstone.
Kinda, but I'm okay with it even being this brown color, though. I don't want to change the color of the rock. It's basically going to be the same as this. It's just I don't want it to transition from grass to grass. I want it to be from sand to sand. Which I was close with this, but it's all jaggedy and doesn't tile right and blah blah blah. So that's why I'm trying again for like the 5th time. And I think I have it for those points that I've got marked, except for those corners. The corner doesn't need to. The corner's its own sprite. I'm glad I zoomed out. I almost did something stupid.
Yeah, most of the siding of the sandhills is usually around some grass. 1 or 2 sprigs of grass might help. Just kind of break up the contrast on the rock. I guess you got it there.
There we go. And then this needs to be down to that spot. This needs to be down to that spot. This one too. So I was hung up on the consistency in where the edge of the sprite should be, not getting it right.
Mhm.
Doing it this way should solve it for me, though. Because now I just need to draw a line from here to here through the rocks to make it match. And then that will tile. Because the important part are those corners, those dots I've got in place.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's picking the path. That rock will disappear. I'm gonna rough it out first, I think.
So you got any New Year's resolutions you're going to be going for?
Nope. I usually don't do them. The one year I did it before New Year happened, and that made me stick with it. I took it as not a New Year's resolution. It was just something I wanted to do. How about yourself?
Halfway.
Halfway?
Yeah.
Wait, it's the 5th of January and you're halfway already?
No, like it is a resolution, but it's like it might happen, but it might not.
You're giving yourself the out already.
More like just trying to find a girl. Let's go with that.
Oh, so you're gonna do the parts. It just needs someone else to do part of it too. You
Yeah.
can't control that. I got you. Yeah, I'll worry about the transition and the shading of those edge blocks later. Edge bits later. Get just the edge cut.
I know exactly what that reminds me of now.
What, the thing I'm drawing?
No, the just kind of the background. Do you remember Windows XP Painter? I believe that's what it was. Or drawing unit. It's like just for the fun of it, when my sister and I get really bored, we'll sit there and like paint an entire wall of a color, then sit there with the eraser and just completely erase it. So we got really bored.
Yeah. Sounds like it. At this zoomed in level, like I am zoomed in 1200% right now.
Oh yeah.
So there we go. Then we can just go down. That's gonna give a straight line though. Hopefully it doesn't look bad. Okay. I just need to keep going with this. Go down through there. Oh, I didn't put a dot in the place. I missed a dot, no! We need to come down to there.
So what's the style of the game you're working on?
Heavily inspired by Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Okay. Yeah, I got that around here somewhere. That's in the gold edition.
Yeah, that's the one that was on the Super Nintendo, not the one that was on Nintendo.
Oh, I got that one around here somewhere.
Yeah.
I believe it's gold.
It's a good game.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, I'll put my own flavor on things, but gonna draw from the fun I had, at least with it, right? We'll see how much I can actually accomplish, though.
So you want to make the character jump off the side or go down a slide?
Jump off the side. What do you mean?
Yeah, like on. If it was
some of
only
the
like
levels.
a 1 block away, you could jump down.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to handle that with the setup I've got. I did, as after I started on it, I watched somebody do a playthrough about, I don't know, they went into the other dimension, right? At that point, and I had noticed that too, and I was like, how am I going to do something like that if I want to, right? I don't know that I'm going to. I definitely don't want to copy everything, right? I want to make this unique. But that
You
did.
could easily just add like a slide or mud pit or something where you can only slide down at that one spot.
Right.
And you jump
And
in
that's how the
like
game
that
was, right?
forest.
Like most of the areas had a little barrier that you couldn't jump. Like if you're in the dungeon and there was 2 different heights, the top one would have like a very narrow ledge that you couldn't walk off of. But there was set spots where you could do that.
Yeah.
I need to take this down to here, go up and around through there.
I'm gonna say take it on down to that corner as well.
If I take it to the corner though, this is the corner piece, right? So it's going to be a little odd because it's going to cut down
Well, I think if you follow that
there and then go back down underneath.
drag lane on down, it looks like where it's sand falling on down, maybe.
Okay.
Just food for thought.
I guess that would be closer to the edge of all of these. This one I've got quite a bit of rocks there though. In this corner. I was trying to avoid going over into the past the pink too much. So I did it here. Let me try this route first. And if
Okay.
we don't like it, we cut more off. It's easier to cut it off more than to come back.
You might be able to make the ledge as well, just like a little small edge shelf ledge.
I saw her up on the hill, on her way to the mill, proud and all out. But where are you now?
Trim a little bit more there, don't worry.
Misunderstood, said she would.
This is where it's gonna get a little tricky because I need to get into this close and tight, so I gotta make a smaller
Glimpse of doubt.
brush. That.
Where are you now? Years have passed and restless legs have settled. We're finally home. Down is up. We've been at the top. We're
It's down to
finally
there.
home.
Up. Down to there.
Let me lend you a hand. Let me in on the plan. Together we're stronger. Don't wait any longer.
A lot of going cross-eyed doing this. Partially on purpose. Make it a little blurred so I can see it, what it would look like when zoomed out without having to scroll back and forth. Yeah. It's like one of the least defined areas of this whole thing. Big mess. These can't type. Let's see where we're going. Up over that.
So why haven't you uploaded these to YouTube?
It involves me clicking a button.
I'm just kind of curious.
They used to have it so that Twitch would automatically upload to YouTube. And then I don't know what they did away, why they did away with it, but it's not there anymore. You have to go in and tell it, I want you to upload this one. Maybe Twitch got too big and too many people were doing it.
I'll probably say it's more the cursing than that.
Well, when Curse took over Twitch.
Yeah, cursing over Twitch and then uploading it to YouTube.
Oh, different Curse.
Yeah.
I was thinking Curse the gaming thing.
No, like swearing. Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's true. Yeah, maybe there was a lot of people that didn't want it to happen for everything. Plus, I mean, YouTube is their competitor, right? So why should they make it easier to supply the competitor with content?
So that's one of the things I kind of find slightly funny. If the interfaces to Twitch and Discord were a little bit more user friendly, just for out of like know where people that can use it, they'll probably take YouTube mostly off the market.
I don't know. So, from a gaming standpoint, probably, right?
Oh yeah,
But overall, in video-wise, Twitch doesn't
No.
have anything that compares with what YouTube has as far as content creation.
no, but gaming wise,
Yeah.
I think it will.
Yeah. YouTube's created YouTube Gaming, which is basically YouTube on a different website.
Yeah.
And I'll say, as a small YouTuber, more people would watch me when I went on live streams than making regular videos and uploading them.
They will watch you more on the live streams.
Which would go to YouTube Gaming too, right? But
Yeah.
I don't think it's because of YouTube Gaming.
No.
It was just that people would find me because YouTube handles a live stream different when it searches. If you search for his term and someone's live, it'll pop it up towards the top of the list. Because you can watch it now. You may not be able to watch it later.
I'm trying to remember how I ended up finding you. It was through YouTube.
Probably, that's how most people
Remember
find
if it was- I think it might have been one of your old videos, 1.7.10, I want to say, for the machinery mod.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's probably one of the more popular videos on my channel now. From it being on the curse page for the mod.
Yeah.
Continue along that one. I think this is going to end up better than any of the other ones, because before I would just be like, we'll cut that rock right down the middle of it, and then the shading for the rock didn't look great. This is more thought out, for sure. What am I going to next? Straight up. So I'll probably follow this kind of line. Let's get there so I can see roughly where I need to go.
We got everything we need right here. Wine and burning chemistry. You and me alone. You and me alone. Inside of our embassy. Everything we need right here. Make me sing along, sing along. Be stuck by you.
What?
Do we need to get you the big poofy hair for like Bob Ross?
I was painting for just a little bit the other day, and somebody started putting the Twitch emote for Bob Ross in.
A little happy bush, a little happy tree, a
Happy
little
clouds.
happy cloud.
It might have been before he died, but like, if it wasn't, it was right after he did. He became a big thing on Twitch. People were watching his PBS stuff on Twitch. Now, what did I do for those other corners? They go further out. Okay. So it would follow something like this to this one, and then basically dive straight down into that.
I think you're a little too far up on that.
Yeah. I'm gonna clean it up, of course, so it'll actually be more like this. But if I come here and go down and follow that,
Maybe try going on the other edge of that.
that's gonna go
rock
beneath the
line.
pink line though. Trying to avoid going down the pink lines on the corners because I think it's gonna cut too much out.
Well, I'm saying on instead of the inside corner of the rock line, go on to the outside corner. So it might push it down a little bit more. It just might be that little extra spacing there.
You can see what you're saying. Let's try this. You're saying like this, going up here where it's cutting into the rock a bit more. Because the rock probably ends here, but I'm cutting out a little bit more, kind of splitting it in half, the shadow.
Yeah.
I can always come back and get more of that shadow too if we need to. Okay, and then this rock. And let's get the plan for the next one, which would be get rid of this rock and follow down that way. This one will be that rock. A rock into that rock. Something like that, roughly. When I zoomed in that close, it looked like there was all this was the same color yellow, when I know it's not. Can't tell until you zoom out that there's that wavy pattern to it. I'm just in too close to it to tell. I'm not actually drawing the yellow, I'm drawing a black mask on this.
Black mass.
Yeah, so this is a mask layer. It determines what is visible of the overall picture and what's not.
Okay, so you're saying like painting on top of something that can't be painted on.
Right, I'm not actually painting on the rocks. I'm painting on a thing that says where it's black,
Yeah, on a separate
don't show the
piece.
rocks, where it's white, show the rocks.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what color I'm painting, basically. I mean, it does black and white, but the stuff underneath is what's showing through when I do this. Instead. That might look funny there. What I just did. Kind of cuts that rock off weird. We could try and shape the rock.
I think that kind of works.
See how it is in game, I guess, when we get there. Oh, well, I'm almost done. Yes. Finally.
So you need somebody to do painting for you or something?
Well, this, I don't think you've seen before.
No.
Hold on a second
I
here.
haven't seen like any of the previous videos except for about 30. No, about 15 minutes. When you're kind of moving stuff around in that.
So here's what I've got going so far, right? And there's several other textures and things already got set up. So I'm just doing this because the asset pack that I've got didn't have deserts. And I wanted to make a desert area in the game. So I have to draw this. For the majority of the game, though, I'm not planning on making the textures myself.
Copy and paste and throw in a blender and blend it up a little bit and throw it back out.
And this, I'd imagine this wouldn't go very well with Blender, but maybe with the new version it would.
Not the blender, the program like
Oh,
a
gotcha.
Binance.
You're talking to me, the person that loves Blender but doesn't very good at it.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay, can I get rid of the stuff quickly here? I can't? Dang. Okay, oh, that'll work. What if I do the O tool? That's in Blender, never mind. Oh, I'm using the shortcut from Blender. That was literally what you'd use to do a quick select in Blender. No, don't start jumping out there into that. Come on. I'll just do a bigger thing, I guess.
Well, go ahead and paste up the inside what you can, then you can just fine tune it on the outside.
Right. I just need to get enough gap between the outside to select it. If I can easily select this stuff, then I can just hit delete on the keyboard. It's gone. Or fill. Right? I can fill in that black color on my mask and it will disappear. The other benefit of doing it this way with the mask, it's non-destructive. So if I mess up, I just hit X, which switches my color, and boom, it all comes back. Can't tell if that's... Oh, crap! Can't tell if that's dirt on my screen or some pixel that's just I missed.
At what point? A few blocks over?
But like right here where I'm circling right now, I'm assuming that's on my screen because I can't
That's
get rid
on
of
your
it.
Screen.
Yeah.
You don't have that issue, I do.
There we go.
The one thing everybody loves about touchscreen, but absolutely hates.
Oh, I don't have a touchscreen. It's just this is a
Oh,
very old screen,
I
and
do.
I don't know. I don't clean my screen very often.
I'm watching you on my laptop, so my
Ah,
laptop has touchscreen.
Nice.
But it's like as soon as you see like a little speck on your screen and you go to wipe it off, your mouse starts freaking out like crazy. Yeah.
Okay, can I just do a marquee around this stuff now? Some of it. There we go. And then G, fill all it in. There we go. Deselect. No, wrong color. Awesome. Except for the bottom. I don't know how to fix the bottom.
Is that on their program or not?
Yeah, if you're talking about the original image I'm taking it from. Because it's got grass built into it.
This is mirrored. Hang on, go back to it for a second. It looked like it's almost mirrored.
It is, but it's not. It looks like it is, but it's not, because we already tried that. We tried taking like the top and lining it up with the bottom. It doesn't fit. It doesn't. The tiles don't line up right. So I might have to cut a layer of the blocks or the rocks off on the bottom, which means the bottom will look funky.
Well, could you actually take the rocks outline with the circles roughly and just kind of add them on?
I don't know, because it's so close to the edge of the texture, whereas up here it's not even close. Like these rocks are different rocks than what's down here. Like they're different shapes and stuff. You know what I'm saying.
True.
I guess that's true. They're further away, so if we deleted some, it'd match up with the other side, I guess. Let's save this as is.
Yeah.
Let's go over to Unity. Here it is. Let's see how this looks in game. It needs touching up. Go ahead.
So what you could do with that bottom row is make it look like the sand has pushed up against it with the wind.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping it looks like here too. Like this rock that's cut in, like that's just the sands piled up against that part of the rock kind of thing. Being this jagged is not gonna work though. No way.
Maybe a little bit darker shading on the rocks closer to the sand. So it looks like it might have a shadow.
Doesn't Photoshop have a heal tool? What does that do? Here it is. Spot healing brush.
Yeah, I haven't used Photoshop in a very, very long time.
This is a very old version of it too. Alt click to define the source to paint. Source point to be used to repair the image. Oh, it's probably messing with it because it's got the mask on it. Because it's trying to paint the black or something. Or the white. Yeah, it's painting the white. Okay, that's not gonna work. Patch tool? Patch me. I don't know what you do. Use pattern, destination, source. Yeah, I don't know what it does.
Go ahead and try like tracing the bottom of all the rocks where you think they should be. And that might get you to what you need on.
Thing is, they will need. I'll need another line to go off of to make sure that along these blue sections where the tile's in, because there's 128 pixels per tile. That, let's say it's this dotted line here. I need to make sure that I go to the dotted line on both those, and this, and this, and this, because I want it to be able to swap them out. If that makes any sense. It's like this is a variation of the straight. This is a variation of the straight edge. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, you put a third painting on top of it where it fixes this issue, where you're able to outline the bottom of the rocks and just kind of take that section and make it look like the rocks are actually there.
I think I know what you're going for. So like if I took this top, flipped it, put it down there underneath, and then only showed it where I cut these rocks out.
Yeah.
Let's try it without making it precise and then see how that works. So like if I just did a rough edge like that. Wow, that's horribly in non-straight. Bit like that. And then took, selected, say, first two lines there. .64 pixels deep approximately, because I didn't quite grab it all. Copy that. Copy it. Paste it. Go to the transform tool, tell it to go flip 180. And then drag it straight down. It's like somewhere like there, and then did this. Oh,
That doesn't look half bad right there.
you're right.
That about lines up with all the rocks as well.
I don't know. Well, most of them, like these, are messed up.
Well, yeah, there's a few messed up, but it looks like for the most of them, it looks about right.
Yeah, I think these tiles are mirrored of the above, because those are exactly.
Yeah.
It's these corners that are messed up. So I'll have to fix the corners, which... Okay, let's fix the corners. Let's see if I, like, cut this rock up to that location. What's
Zoom
that?
out for a second. Zoom out for a second. I'm gonna say the ones that actually matched up are the same ones on the outer side.
Like these? Yeah. It's these two. Because in the original, it's more obvious in the original.
Yeah.
These two here are the same as these two here. It's, if you see these green pieces, they're the same. And then you did the same here and here. So those two line up. It's just that bottom edge he changed down here for some reason to make it grassy. At this point, I really wish that, like, whoever did this did these in layers, where I could just pick the rock piece out and not the grass piece. And be done. And he did it to some degree. Like, there's a thing called hills, right? That's that whole section, but it's got the green already built into it. There's nothing that's to that layer. I just got a green fill one. I also kind of wish that he just had rocks with no grass at all, and then whatever color the grass is, those rocks go with.
Because there's like 3 different variations he sent as part of his pack of the green. But anyway, dealing with what we got. Thank you for this idea. This is way easier than what I had in mind. Because that just fixed that rock with like 4 clicks. Okay, I need to turn the grid lines off so I can see this better. Nope, not that.
In some cases, this is what I kind of do at work all day long.
Oh, really?
A
What?
little bit,
But you're welding.
yeah. But it's like for a test lab, it's like, okay, we tried it at so many volts, so many amps, and so many joules. Let's turn the joules up, turn the amps up, and turn the volts down.
Gotcha. I thought you meant you were drawing for
No.
work.
No. And just, I do that at the farm at the same time. It's like, well, this is not going to work. What do I do now?
Yep.
Let's try this.
There are a lot of professions that are like that, right?
Yeah.
What is it? IT that I'm in. It's that all day long, right?
Yeah.
Try turning it off. Did that work? Yep, did. Cool. Didn't? Let's try something different then.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Took too much. So let's eat this away. Can't undo anymore. Dang it. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
I don't need
go
to.
back to where you like was eating the rock at the corner and just leave it.
Yeah.
Have it so it has like a tail.
Just leave that rock on top of that rock.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the green. I was talking about IT, you know, try step 1, that didn't work. Okay, it's this. Try this. I came to the realization several years ago that that's what doctors do. You come in with these symptoms. Well, it's probably this, right? And when that doesn't work, oh, that didn't work, so it must be this. They're just going off their
Yeah.
experience, just like IT.
No, every single patient isn't the same.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to pinpoint accurate everything. Finally, it's gone. That's gone down.
What's that?
Oh, just playing a game here.
Oh,
I'll be. Let's see. What was it? Oh, I can't say. It's like perfect miners. All you're doing is like digging a hole around and pulling up money. Yeah, I stopped playing my other game I had on my phone. It's been really nice.
okay. Now I can see where this one doesn't quite line up because of this purple. We can fix that just by doing that. Some oddities in here. We'll just blur it so it's not a straight edge cut and your eye will never notice because they're close enough in color.
Yeah.
Take it out into consideration. Okay. It's interesting. The top of this thing, all the rocks had purple. The bottoms didn't. I'm sure it's for like a shadow or something. Oh, that is off then. It's the lighting. Dang it. I'm gonna deal with that.
Lighten up the purple or scratch a bit of it off.
The purple's on the layer underneath, so it can't scratch it off. I'm thinking if I take it end for end, that might fix it. Because it's
what
like
I'm
this
saying
shit
is-
light source is on the left of the screen and the shadows are on the right, but from the top, it's reversed. So we flipped it like this, so I need to take
Oh,
it and go
true.
like that then. I don't know if I can transform like that inside Photoshop. Okay, so I need to take it end for end, basically. If I click and say negative 100 for the width. Yep, that puts the shadows on the right hand side, so. That's an easy fix. Oh, not that layer. It's there. What is going on? Oh.
Where's black coming from?
It was because I had the actual picture selected instead of the mask. So that black mask color I was drawing was actually showing up. Just want to get this rock rounded out a bit. There we go. I can turn it back on.
So the sun sits in the top left.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Just based on the fact that the purple for all these rocks is on the right, so I'm assuming that's a shadow color. So over here. What doesn't make a lot of sense
Yeah.
is the purple being over here. He's got purple everywhere. On all the sides. But on this side it makes probably the least sense. It's almost like it's on top, but maybe these are casting shadows there. So maybe the light's in the center. Casting out that way? I don't know.
Maybe.
Most people aren't going to notice it.
No.
There we go. That's good. Oh, dang, got past it.
Looks good.
There's like at least a 5-10 second delay between us. Whatever I'm doing and you're laughing about, I'm already moved on to the next thing, so I'm not sure what's funny I'm doing.
That rock that almost looks like it has a mouth, an eye, and 2 ears and hair.
This one over here, I'm guessing.
Yep, that one there.
Get some of that shadow back in. At that level of zoom, yeah, no one's gonna notice. Not in the actual game. And if they do, they find the hairy rock. Call it an Easter egg.
Or a cheat code or something.
Nope. Yeah, right real small. 467321 on a bunch of pixels.
That would just be plain evil. Who would do that, me?
Now that I've said it, I'm kind of liking the idea of it. See if people pay attention. Like, I don't know, make it like the last objective in the game, like a hidden quest,
like a bonus
Yeah.
quest.
The super sword or something. Debug mode sword just kills everything one hit. Boom. We'll call it the Stream Watchers Special. Is the name of the sword? Because if you've watched the stream that I did it in, you would know.
Oh, about the easiest way to do that is right on the rocks with the purple.
Yeah, like just pick a color that's here, like this color, but like put the 4 there and the 6 here. Like just make it so you have to search for it, because like, what are the odds that as I make the level, this tile is to the right of this tile is to the right of this tile? Because I can switch those up in the game however I want. So they might be everywhere in the game, but they won't be in the right order necessarily. Oh, anyway. Interesting idea, but we'll figure that one out later if we're actually going to do it. Like where to hide it and everything. And it could be subtle,
There's
like
some-
a slight variation in the purple.
There's some greener. That rock is messed up down at the right.
Yeah. Let's get rid of that. I need to go through and select green all over, because like even around these edges there's a little bit of green there. But that's easy to do with the selection tool.
Can you like just map color and it lights all the pixels up and you can change it all at once or not?
So select all the same color? Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's just a matter of finding them all. Like, 'cause, like, if you set the tolerance low enough, it's gonna not pick even a slightly different color.
Yeah.
But if you set the tolerance too high, then you start getting the blacks and stuff between the rocks that you don't want to pick.
That just might turn to have like a little sand in that crevice or something. That's about it.
I think we need to get the green, check out, or get rid of the green, check how it looks in the game. Probably soften this outer edge because it's very harsh and like not soft. And then maybe soften the inside edge as well with a blur. But let's get rid of the green. You're saying there's sand somewhere? I'm not seeing what you're talking about. Somewhere we missed or something?
No, when you were talking about the shading, if black was turned to your beige color, I'm saying that would go ahead and just turn that with a little bit of sand in it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like the stone has sand in between it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do this now. Select nothing. Let's get my other selection tool. Boom. Not telecontiguous though. Okay, so that selected all of that color green plus 28 levels of variations between. I don't see anything between the rocks. Let's just delete it all. Or no, let's
No, change color on it if you can.
G. How am I gonna do this? It's not contiguous. To get in between one of these. So what I'm doing is I'm making it sand underneath. Let's select all now. Get on close to that edge. Look for green. That might have done the trick. Eyedropper on that.
You can kind of see some really slight green, but I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah. That's a 68
really-
green. Close,
You're
but
really zoomed in to see that.
right. Another thing we can do. Let's see. No. Levels. Just add an adjustment layer. If I go to green, what's it do if I go like this? Oh! We could change the shading of it so it looks different than the rest of the level. I actually don't want to
Night
ramp
and
up the
day.
green.
Night, day, sunset.
Wasn't gonna add cycles like that into the game. I do have tiles for seasons though.
Yeah.
I could do that in the
Oh.
game too, the night cycle. Like I could turn up the blue and the green, make it look darker. So there's a in Unity. Basically, let me zoom out. So like this. Here's the shaders. It's not doing it. All right, because it's maxed out. So like, see how we're changing the colors of everything on that layer. These green ones up here.
Yeah.
So if I did that for all of these objects, all my different layers in the game, it would apply. Make it look bluer for night or whatever. If I did one night, I don't know. I don't like that it's applying to everything. Because I want the sand to not change colors. Why is there sand at the bottom?
Because of the copy and paste that we did.
Awesome. I hope that makes it line up right. It does not at all.
Are you talking about the sand?
Yeah, the sand. So, see the wavy lines in the sand? They go from lower left to upper right. This is going from lower right to upper left. It's in this diagonal instead of this diagonal.
Okay, do you have like a blank area of sand?
Blank area of sand.
Yeah, just like
Yeah, I could
sheet of
copy it in again,
sand.
but I need to mask out the rocks to do that.
Well, hang on. Just go to a blank piece of sand,
Like that. Like this piece up here.
then copy whatever that edge line is there. Then from that, we can delete the outer section of the sand by picking the color toner change.
But I could
turning
just do
that
this.
to 0.
I think that's what you were trying to say.
I have no idea. Or that. Or that.
This tool here is a magic wand, and it will select anything that's similar to what you click on, basically, on that
Okay.
layer. And you can set the tolerance level. So Just happen to have it right to where it picks up both of those shades of yellow that are in that sand.
So that works.
We might actually have this. See it in game. This rock kind of looks dumb. That shape to it.
At the same time, it kind of looks funny. It looks natural.
Let's see if I'm gonna merge these two layers together. Hopefully this doesn't screw me up. Going to, dang it. Let's get rid of this adjustment layer as well. Not duplicate. I want to delete you. Yeah. There we go. Merge layers. Oh, I got rid of my mask. It'll be okay. I just want to blur it, that's all. See how it
All I'm
looks.
saying is I can sit here and yell at the tech that on my screen, don't do it, but it doesn't help.
Yeah, it's too late, right? Now it's actually blurring good. So in doing this 5 different times, it seemed to me that when I did a slight blur to it like this, it felt like the sand kind of was like the rock was in the sand and the sand layers kind of built up over it, and you could see down, like it was a thin layer of sand on the edge basically. Just felt better. Made it feel like it was into the block or into the sand
Yeah.
instead of this hard edge like this, right? That just doesn't look right. This looks a little better. I can tell you to sample all layers. Amazing. What's that do? Oh, it's just a button you can click that doesn't say it. Okay. Oh, I don't have a tablet. Ignore the lines. Oh no.
You're talking about the lines on the houses?
The lines between the tiles like this. Ignore those. The funny thing is, like, what I did to fix the game having lines between it when you play it made the lines appear in the edit mode all the time. When it's full screen. But when it's full screen in the game, it's fine. So, hey, I'll take that in the playtime. It works, right? So when I zoom in on this, it's blurry. When I zoom in on anything else, they're not. Right? It's got a hard edge when I zoom in. Those don't line up. That tile is wrong. How did I not ever
Both
notice that
sides.
before? On multiple houses. This one's right because
it's like Windows or something. Maybe.
No, I probably put the wrong one
No.
down. Let's take a look. Palettes. Come on. This is starting to get me concerned. Like every time I go to the palettes, it's slow. Exterior towns. Yeah. So I need to copy this tile to here. That must be for like a flat roof or something. So what I've been doing is I've been saying, Here, let's take this and then place it into the world, right? Not realizing that that tile was different. So, what layer are you on? Collision, probably? Nope. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be for every house. Plonk. That was the wrong layer. Collision. Plonk.
Tell me how houses you got fixed now.
A decent number.
Like 5 or
Yeah, somewhere around there. But I need to get it. There we go. Not all of them have 2 sides either. Some of them just have 1. Oh. All this scrolling around I've done, I accidentally grabbed one of the layers and moved it. That one. There. Let's get all the lefts here. That's a blue house. We'll need to get a different tile for that one. That should be all of them. Ah.
down
I'm-
one more.
I think I'm gonna have to split the overworld into multiple layers or multiple worlds, levels. Because as I've been adding more and more things to the world, Unity is getting slower and slower. Like I did Control Z there, and finally I did it. And I'm afraid it's gonna cause problems when playing the game. Like I've only got that much of the world. This world might be big enough to cover this whole thing, right? That or I need to look at how I'm doing the collisions, because that could be part of it. The collision calculations might be taking some time. Okay, so that fixes the houses. Let's go back up here to the reason we were here, this stuff. I think the blur on the inside looks good. I'm thinking we probably need to blur the outside as well. Of course, the bottom didn't blur because it's on a different layer. There we go. Let's do 2 passes because I think we did 2 on the inside. There we go. Save. Boom. Well, that stinks. I made a line. Gotta be kidding me. You probably can't see it on the stream, but there's a line right there.
Yeah, I can see it on the far edge of the border line.
Yeah, there's one up there too. No idea why it did that though.
That shading of the green, maybe?
Yeah, maybe it's. No, I did this. I did the. What do you call it? The actual picture, not the mask when I did that.
Or is it the mask that's doing that?
Gosh. Let's do something here. So, Control D. I get all these brown colors in here. That's my selection layer right now, right? So, where I'm selected at. Oh, okay. And then do an inverse on the selection. So now I'm selected this outside area only. And if I go to my eraser tool, make it huge, and erase that. And then turn my other layers back on and save this. They disappear. Oops. Whatever, I can erase it. There we go.
So what's the game called?
Doesn't have a name. The town doesn't have a name. The town has a temporary name called Kritu because I couldn't think of anything, and that was the first thing that popped in my head. I'm working on the story for the game. It's not complete enough to even really share. Yeah. If I go over and do a different scene so I can start the game, actually. I can't start it from this one. Gotta go to main menu. So save. Play the game. Okay, so we got a little dummy placeholder menu. So we hit start. There's you into the world. Your player can move around in 4 different directions, swing his sword. There are animations in place for shooting a bow, spears, getting hit, so it, being attacked, dying, things like that are part of this character's asset set. Built this little other guy that walks back and forth. He's going to represent an enemy for now. If I get in front of him, he'll detect I'm there and start trying to attack me. It's all stupid right now, but it's placeholder code. I can't walk into these things, right? Because I've got that collision bounding box around them I was talking about. But on the steps, I made it so I can walk up here. So that's kind of like what we were talking about. Legend of Zelda, you can go to the different layers. So that's going up. The part that I don't have a good solution for right now is what you were talking about jumping down, because I don't have an animation for a jump. At least I don't think I do. So I might be able to trigger him to allow you to go down and bypass something, but I don't have a way of making it look like he's jumping. I just have a way of making it look like he's walking.
What does it look like when he dies?
Let me get out of maximize mode here. Bring up that character. Focus on him. And this one, and then go to the animator. I'm gonna run this off screen here. Don't know if I can get it to go right to it or not. Try. Death. I can't do it in this, but I can go into the scene he's in and make it trigger it. Where is he? Why are we not seeing him? Oh, right. Disable this for now. What?
Hit play maybe?
I can try it. I don't know if it's going to do it. Yeah, I still can't trigger him to do it, though. I'll set this as a default layer. That'll do. I'll just set to undo the change. So there's his death animation. For that, looking down, there's also one for him going left, going right, and going up. Is there a loop option on this? No, there's not. Make a transition from that to that. There, I'll just keep dying. Settings. Transition off.
It
Either way.
almost looks like his feet movement is about right for making him jump to the right.
Well, so here's everything he's got, right? So
All I'm saying is, if you wanted to try to add a jump to him, his leg movement there bends, then it looks like it hops and falls.
okay, so let's do this. Let's do set default, so he does that. So I was his bow. Then we can go back to set default again. Yeah, he does hop up before he falls over. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And then also he's got this where he does hop up too, right? That's really all he's doing. Let's go to that. And then this. Just shoves his legs up. And then, let's see. The expressions don't really work from what I found. Walking, what's the spell do? That's kind of the arm movement you would need for a jump. So just take the bottom half of his body there and top half his body there. Woo! He's jumping.
Yeah.
So I say that knowing full well what's in that. So let's see. We select him out of play mode. And we go to the hurt animation, for example. All these dots on all these objects are what's the keyframes are for the animation to do that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, not saying it's impossible, but I'm going to need an entire stream just to do that jump animation.
Yeah.
And that stream's going to be 4 hours long. Because it's a matter of this right foot is in this position at this frame, whatever value that is. So the Z position, for example, and then at this frame, it's a different value. Okay, it looks like they're the same in that case, but that's how the animation system works in Unity. Looks like it's the same there too, unless it's because I got scrubbed through it. Oh yeah, so -46 to -45 between those times, and that's what he does. So probably doable. You just have to set the pose up the way you want and keyframe it at the right spots. Yeah. So this black thing that's showing up here should be one of my objects I've created. I'm just not seeing it. Oh, there it is. That's why we couldn't see the character runtime or play mode. Now we can do this. Oh, we're gonna go to that one. Now we can step through the bow animation, for example, piece by piece, or the hurt animation that we're talking about. Let's turn that camera off as well. Back down. Hurt. So like that part of that animation is what we would need. to that keyframe. I guess the whole thing would work. But then if we added... Was it spell? Oh,
Yeah.
to get the arm pieces. Because as he jumps... The funniest thing is, like, if you look at it in this position, his sword swing, oops, and goes frame by frame, he cuts his head.
It's the exact same thing. That's his head.
It looks like he's cutting his head to me.
Oh,
It just happens so fast when he actually does it, you don't notice it. But if you go frame by frame, he's up there awful close to his neck right now.
oh yeah.
Oh, anyway. Okay, so let me undo those changes to animations. Now at that point... Oh, he totally cutting his neck, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, that sword's like halfway through his neck if he's got it back that far, right?
Yeah.
Default layer. Somebody in Twitch was commenting. Okay, then we need to turn this back on and this back on. So this black thing I created has an animation as well, which goes from this frame to the other frame over there, and it just turns it from completely black to completely transparent. And the reason I did that is for transitions between levels. So if I go back to the other scene here for main menu and play the game again, when I go into a cave, that transition plays. It's like if I go over here to this cave, you'll see the screen fade to black and then back out. That's just a big black plane going transparent. That's all it is. A dirty little Unity hack that gets the job done. Let's see what else.
Do we need to add some wow noises, just like spooky, or was it dark castle, spooky castle?
I will need to add all sorts of sounds, yes.
No, it's like, what is it? I want to say the third level in that game. You went up to somebody and they go, "Wow." That's the teleport sound.
What? I don't remember that. In A Link to the
Spooky
Past?
Castle? No, Spooky Castle. It's a different game.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've played that one.
It's like one of the most annoying sounds, but it's absolutely funny.
Huh. Let's see. Tile that I'm using everywhere is grass. Come on. Grassland tile set. Tile maps. This. It's this. If I look at here, where's that freaking grass at? Oop, crap. $28. Hmm.
That's what you're trying to figure out.
Well, you see how there's this yellow line? It's that one bug I was dealing with. I think it's because it's specifically yellow because it's this. I was trying to make sure it wasn't because they did something silly like that, right?
which they didn't. Trying to decide if I want to move in the texture itself. Take that texture and say, move it down here and make green beside it so it stops doing the yellow. I don't think I do though. I'm gonna try and not edit these textures as much as possible.
I think I know exactly what's going on there. Yeah, I bet that's what's going on.
What's that?
Where they have a space between each individual block. Just trying to add that to the game.
Right. It's not a space between the block. It's you're close. So
No, I'm saying on your color palette, when you're looking at the block design, it looks like there's a single block space between every single one of them.
there's not. They butt right up to each other. If you look at it in this, I turn off the grid so it doesn't look like there's a blue line now. Come on, turn off. Smart grid. There. There's nothing between them. What's happening is Unity's saying this tile is 128, this tile is 128, and your camera is just slightly out of alignment with a pixel. So this one it rounds up, this one it rounds down, and there's a line in between.
Okay.
And that's what this material I'm trying to change out was set up for. So on that particular material that I created as a workaround, I said pixel snap, which will force it to not do that. But here, crap. Go back to that one, I guess. Pixel snap. So see how it's horrible in the editor? For some reason in the editor it's awful, but if I turn that off, it's fine. But in the game, it's the opposite. Like when you run it, if I have it turned off, it'll randomly have these yellow vertical lines, but if I turn this on, those yellow lines disappear. I haven't had them happen in the game. It also doesn't happen when it's full screen, right? It also doesn't happen in the editor if I get it just the right size. And I think it's to do with the rounding again. It's not gonna work for me. And I'm trying to show you. There, the black lines are gone for the heights just right.
Yeah.
There, it's gone. It's to do with the rounding that it's doing for the camera. It's a common problem with Unity, and I've found so many people saying that, oh, just turn this setting on, just turn this setting on, do this, do that. None of them worked except for this one. And I just happened to find that one today. In fact, let's see. Make sure I don't have those other settings turned on as well. Everybody says turn off. What is it? Anti-aliasing disabled. That was the main one everybody said. And then the next thing they said was make a pixel between each of your textures and make it a color that is okay to show. Like extend your pixel each one. That means I have to go in and edit a dozen different Photoshop files to make them all bigger and move things around, and I really don't want to do that. Because if this guy comes out with an update and adds another season or, I don't know, night version of these, then I have to, when I download it, start all over and do all that again.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what's happened too. So originally he had one season for these. If I open, say, this one, there's a different look to them, right? It's the same tiles. They've just been shaded green, a darker green. Or if I come over here, it's more of a fall look to things. Oh.
Looks like you also need another block palette for that gravel road mixed in with the dirt road, because that just looks odd.
Trying to understand what you mean. Gravel road mixed with the block road. This?
Where the houses are.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have a good solution for that. There's no tile that goes from this gray to that yellow. And I wanted that to look more rural, is why I did that. That part of town's not visited as much. I mean, I could...
Could you kind of take both of the edge lines and like magic marker them, fuse them kind of in?
We could. I also could do something like this where... Make sure I'm on the ground layer first before I do this. And then go to the other tile set. Do that, right? Well, it's the tile I'm using. Dang it. I'd have to do it for the whole road, but you get the idea. Like if I just made them butt up next to each other, I guess it's this tile. That would work too, but there's no transition. It doesn't look as nice.
Yeah.
I also could just make it this road. I was just trying to get some variety to the town.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, is that transition between the two.
I don't know how many places I'm going to do it. I did it here, but we kind of hit it behind some trees and... I don't know. Like you're leaving town. Maybe we don't even need that out there. A lot of this is subject to change still. But now, my desert... Come on, go desert. There we go. We've got those tiles. It'd be cool if I had a cactus. But this is me we're talking about.
What program is this in?
This is Photoshop.
Photoshop?
And then I'm using Unity to actually make the game. Extra objects. Like, I might be able to do a cactus because they're simple. But then as soon as I do a cactus, then I'm going to want a different variation of the cactus.
Said you were using Photoshop?
Yeah. And you know what? I think I might be able to use this dead tree and these dead sticks instead to give it some decoration. Those things.
Is that OBS Photoshop?
OBS Photoshop? What are you talking about?
I'm sitting here googling it. For some reason.
You're getting really quiet
I had
again.
it, I'm not sure. Sitting here googling it.
Oh. I've never heard of OBS Photoshop. Those are two different programs.
No, that wasn't OBS. That was something weird then.
So that wouldn't look so bad in a desert. It's just more than just plain sand everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Could throw in a log, but me. Oh, rocks. Right, so we can have rocks in places. Different types of rocks as well. We might have enough here to work with. Obviously, like, plants and stuff aren't going to really be there. Maybe a sign if it's near a town or something. Not much else makes a lot of sense out of this.
Interiors, probably nothing. Yeah. The mine stuff. Other dark looking tiles we could use for things. Some traps. Light from the entrances. But it's only vertical, really?
What?
That's weird. So, looking at this mine shaft palette set, there's doors that are horizontal, there's doors that are vertical. And then these, I'm assuming, are light coming through the door as a decorative item, right? So you make a door like this, and you put light right here to make it look like that's the way out. But it's only a vertical thing. There's no horizontal version of it. Which, okay, fine. Maybe you don't set up the level like that. It's just odd, I thought. That's like a bottomless pit area. Cool. More rocks we can use. Apparently they're huge. No, they're just completely messed up on this palette. Great. So the mine needs adjusted. Would probably be an ice mine. What?
There's like 5 people watching. I just now noticed that.
Yeah, there's been people watching for a while. Hello, everyone. It's not that. Where did I find that at the other day? Just fixed this the other day on one of them. Right, it was on the picture itself that went into making this. So how do I backtrack that then? Tiles. Wait, glider sprite. 128 by 128. There we go, 128. Apply. As soon as it's done, then we can try it again. No! What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. I swear.
Well, it's very... Oh. I typed the number wrong. That'll do it. Instead of 128, I put 1238. Slightly bigger. Over a power of 10 bigger. Yeah, that worked. Cool. So there's some more rock types that we could put into the desert in different areas. They're a bit dark. Okay. But we can take these off and adjust the lighting on them. What's that?
That one on the right there, that flat panel rock, don't work as a walkway.
Work as a walkway? Or wall
Yeah,
plate?
like stepping stones.
Maybe, but they don't connect. There's a gap between them. Well, that to me...
Bottom right. Not top right.
Oh. Boy. If we had like an evil lava layer,
That'd be pretty cool. Like if we had lava, and that was put in the lava to make it look like there's some stones you can walk across in the lava. That's an idea for a level. I'm gonna add that to Trello. Or
could
a
also-
dungeon thing, right?
You could flip those 4 ways, and you could invert them by 4, so you got 8 to choose from.
True. And there's also this one too. Would fit well with that. That probably wouldn't fit as well, but it works. Yeah. One. Could have lava in it and the stones from the mine be used for paths through the lava. Keeping that Trello to keep track of ideas and things to work on and stuff.
A hidden secret of the continuous miner digging away.
Can you hear it? I don't hear it. Hmm. Bunch of nice snowy stuff to work with. You gotta be kidding me. When I originally set out to make the hills for the desert, I wanted something that was closer to this.
Same time, it just doesn't. Are you talking about the rocks or the levels?
So like this part up here where it's the rocks we built that texture for. Originally I was thinking I wanted a texture that's more just like a line, several lines across, to be the hillside that you can't go up, right? So if you look at the original Zelda stuff, it's closer to that. Let's see if I can get a picture of it.
Yeah, but I think I like the rocks a little bit more than the straight line.
I'm not saying what we did is bad. It's just I was originally going for something like this, and that would have been way easier to build, right? Instead of having to draw 10 million rocks, it's a line.
Yeah, but the rocks look a whole lot better, I think.
Yeah. I can see. Link to the past map. Get this open. Oh wow, that website's cool. So like, here is the original Zelda game, right? And the hills there in the desert were just lines.
Yeah.
So, oh well. Where was this website when I was playing Zelda however many years ago? It shows all the heart locations on this place. That's cool. So like if I look at one of these, what's this look like? Yeah, our hills are different. Completely different. And that's fine. Like I want a different look and feel and gameplay play mechanics than Zelda. It's just inspired by it.
How does it look when we go from desert? Oh. Ground layer, please. Right to grass. It's okay.
Just go ahead and add a mountain.
Well, like this? Yeah. Oh, it'd be the other way, wouldn't it? Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Are you kidding me? Those are exactly... No, they're just slightly different. The difference... We spent all that time. The difference between these two is one rock. It disappeared?
Yep.
Oh, I guess the rocks below are slightly different too.
Well, they change colors, but it looks like the exact same shape.
Like, I can't get my mouse cursor there. Let's see. If I look here, there's like a bunch of little rocks, but if I go to paint that, it's one big rock instead. So, woo! Great variety there. But it doesn't look out of place though. So like when I drew that out, it doesn't look like it's tiled real bad, and it doesn't look like there's some crazy thing that stands out real bad either. Because like this on this grass down here, this tile stands out quite a bit, but it's also nice to have some level of variety to it. It's better than nothing.
I just had a thought. Did we ever save that grass where it was leaching into the rock?
Grass was leaching into the rock. You mean this over here? That was the original texture.
The original texture that was leaking into that area there.
Yeah, this or something different. I've got my screen now.
No, the bottom of the rock. Did we save that as a separate file?
Oh.
See what I'm saying now?
I think I see what you're saying. It's in this still, I believe. So if I turn that off, that off, that off, we've got so many different variations of this. So you're talking about this where it's all jagged at the bottom?
Yeah.
The grass. There's one like that, but it's got some green in it still.
What I'm saying is that's what we need down at the bottom of where we're combining the two biomes.
Gotcha. I mean, technically it's in this. If we just duplicated this and turned the masking off for that section, it would come back.
Yeah, true.
So I got what you're going for. I mean, the way it's set up here, you just get the two, but that would be a transition between grass and sand.
Yeah.
So, just based on the performance problems I'm having in the editor, I'm assuming this is the cause of them. I might split these sections into different levels anyway, though, and then you wouldn't see them side by side. So that indirectly would be a solution for the transition, right? You just wouldn't see the grass. Because I wouldn't want to put 10 layers of grass just to have a crappy transition, and then that makes the world for the desert area bigger again. If the performance is because of the size. I suspect it's not. I suspect it's more the collisions. The amount of collisions I've got. So let's do a test here. Let's do overworld. Let's save this first in case it crashes. And let's do rule tile. I don't have it. It's this one. Let's do the fill area. Let's go from like here No, please. It wasn't the tile I selected. Yeah, see, the bigger I get it, the slower it's starting to get. Okay, now that it's there, if I select something different, if it's gonna let me, I might have just found the limits of Unity. Okay. Took some time to think about it, but it's working now. Let's just erase that for now, because I was gonna test it, but the only way for me to test it is to save it. And if it crashes, then I can't get it back open. I've lost everything. So these are probably on deco and collision. Yeah, when I mess with the collisions, there's a big lag. I might need to change these then, instead of... static, collision, composite. It could be used that too. Using a composite collider, because that compiles multiple adjacent colliders into one single collider, so when I make a change to the tile map, it's going to recalculate what that collider should be. That could be where the lag's coming from. Does the profiler work for the editor in Unity? Questions we need to know. Analysis profiler. Profile editor. There we go. Yes. So now I don't know, draw a bunch of grass on the collision layer. The profiler stops working apparently because it's no longer updating its screen because all of Unity hangs, and there's a huge spike that I can't catch it. Ah.
Is it translating the other stuff that we already have?
Right, like it would definitely take into consideration what we already did, if that's what you're saying, and I think that's part of the problem. It's we've got collisions around every single tree, every building, lots of other things, the fences, and it's trying to calculate, can I join all these collision boxes together? Can't believe that the profiler just died when that happened. That's no use to me to say there's a spike, but I can't catch it. Okay, I need to do that and then be ready to click. There's the spike. Okay, what is this causing from? Tile map collider update. Okay, so can I, in the editor, turn off composite and get the performance back? Just turn the record back on. Yeah, I can. Because each one of them are individual colliders.
it would make horrible performance at runtime. And then when I'm all done making changes, I can say use composite editor, or used by composite. And then if I make a change, bad performance comes back. Yep, perfect. We've got a workaround. I can deal with that. Because right now I've only got one collision layer too, so it's literally just checking one box. Look at all those tiles, or colliders. No wonder it's slow. That's just for this area. There's some over here. Oh my gosh. That would be cool. A lot of these colliders are here because I wanted trees to be able to limit you from going to certain areas, right?
Mhm.
But there's no reason that the collider has to be around the tree. I could just draw a 2D collider on the screen and then fill it all in with trees just visually. But it'd be one big box that just stops you from going that direction. That's a performance hack I could do too. Or a trick.
You can
So-
also add like bushes or shrubs around that area, like a shrub hedge or something.
Right. Right, I definitely can. I don't know that I've got a hedge like what they had in Link to the Past, because that was like filled the entire tile, right? Filled the entire square, and like putting them side by side, there was no gap. I think the only hedges are just different here. Not that we can't maybe edit it. Yeah, there's no hedges here. There's these little weeds. There's that. That's not gonna stop a person from going through it, right?
Take the top of the tree off.
That tree probably won't work, but maybe that one. All the tiles there are a little funky for doing that. Let's try a different tree. Summer outdoor. Different style of base for that tree. That's cool. Yeah, there's no real shrubs. I think we could get part of one out of there, but it wouldn't tile to the next bush beside it very well.
I think the one
Oh,
before
right there.
might work a bit better.
There it is. I just didn't see it. So if we did a line of these and didn't have that selected so it looked right, that would work. That's basically what was in Link to the Past, just with better graphics, right?
Yeah.
Cut the tree off. Yeah. Gosh, there's I keep thinking there's not much to this tile set, but there is. I'm just not seeing it all when I'm looking at it when I'm in a hurry. Like that rock I didn't notice, this I didn't notice. We've got some of the flowers around. This reminds me of the slidable rocks they had in Link to the Past, or the blocks that you'd push inside a dungeon to do a trap or puzzle.
That one and
The one in the mine.
the mine shaft one.
Hmm. There's probably one in the dungeon one too. Yep, right there. Or this. I don't know if that's one really, but there's somewhere in here. There's button states, right? So Button depressed, button not depressed. There's light from the windows again. Dungeon entrances. Holy crap. I had no idea it was 2:30. No idea at all. Wow. I got up at 6 something and I was dead tired all day. I laid down from 6:45 to maybe 7:15. I woke up, I'm like, I'm not tired anymore. From like 30 minutes. That involved the time it took to fall asleep.
I'm in the same boat. Except for this 6:30 part.
How is it 2:30? No wonder Fiery left so long ago. How long have I been streaming?
Like, at least 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, it says 2 hours 45 minutes, or 41 minutes, but... I started at 10? I started at 10.
Yeah.
10 plus 2 hours does not make 2:30. I think I fell in a time hole somewhere. I don't understand that. Whatever. Well.
I joined. I joined around like 11 o'clock.
I had to have streamed longer then. The stream must have got interrupted and started again or something. It did. I hit stop and start in the middle of it. Because I was trying, when Fiery was on, I was trying to change the delay. There's a setting in Twitch and we weren't sure if it was going to work unless I stopped the stream. So I stopped it and restarted it right away. Dang.
Okay.
So I've been streaming much longer then. It's 10:40. Like 4 hours? Maybe I should stop. Give me time to walk away and think about what to do next, I guess. I mean, I could start doing the desert area. Now we've got a couple tiles to work with. But I'm not sold on the idea of having the overworld in one level. I might break it out just for simplicity. You'd have multiple entrances into the desert, potentially. Would that cause us a problem, though? No, because I can already think of a way around it. So what I'm talking about is this. So this object over here is a cave entrance. And on the cave entrance, there's a collider. So when the player walks into that collider, it runs some code. And the code that runs is opening up. Come on. It's opening on another screen. Okay. Basically, checks to see if it's a player that collided with it, so if like an enemy collides with it, it doesn't change your world on you. But if it's a player, then it checks to see if you were in the overworld originally. If you were, then it saves your last overworld position to the player, basically. Player game object. So we know where to take you back to when you come out of the cave. And then it finds a object. Oh, the animator, so that's that fade in and out. And then unloads the scene to unload, which is the overworld in this case. So just a setting I've got over here on the object. And then loads the scene to load. That's pretty much it. And then at the end it says what? Oh, it saves your position. Right. Scene to load. Oh, if you're going into the overworld, then it sets you at that position that it saved earlier. So that would screw with this if I split the overworld up. But I could handle that in another way. I could create another class that checks if this level name is an overworld or something like that. Saves it off. And this is for caves. Going into another part of the overworld could be different. Talking myself into splitting it up. What is there? Gotta be something in the decoration layer. Yep. So anyone watching in the stream that might be out there, if you use tile maps in Unity, have you ever ran into a problem with having too many tiles? Or too many collision tiles? And performance? So, if you weren't here earlier, I had a performance problem in the Unity editor, but I was able to work around that by... I can work around it by disabling this used by composite. So that the editor's not recalculating all of the colliders every time I add a new collider. Then when I'm all done, I click that, I check that box, and it calculates it then. I wait then once instead of, 100 times for 100 colliders being added.
So we have to figure out a playable footprint size.
Yes, no. I think more game design would control that. Because, I would need a lot of content to make something big enough, I think. In regards to... How do I say this? In regards to making it so big that you can't load it or something. If I split it up. If I didn't split it up, I think I'd easily be able to go over. Because this is just one area, right? I'm thinking at least 9 areas, basically, right?
Yeah.
For just the overworld. Obviously, caves and things like that would be separate, but those are going to be different levels, I think, or different scenes in Unity. Basically, what this is causing to have happen is I want to say this. Sorry, my brain's going off on a tangent of how to make this easier to do. I'm making each section of the overworld its own scene. So they don't have to be considered the overworld anymore. So this could be Cretu if this was the name of the town. This could be Dusty Desert, I don't know. Wintry Wonderland and Castleton or whatever. Generic names, I know. I don't need to have each tree as a collider. Set up a big collider bounding box. Colliders for things like houses probably is appropriate. Colliders for fences is definitely appropriate. Just to make it simple. The outer area could be a... Is there a...
So new, empty, box collider. Is there a collider? No, okay. I didn't know if there was like a reverse collider that keeps you in an area. I don't think there is. There's an edge collider. Create an edge around the bottom, an edge around the side and top and bottom. I think those are one way though, if I remember right. Hey, wife's still awake. I thought she'd be asleep. Its collider is an invisible shape that is used to handle physics collisions for an object. The collider doesn't need to exactly the shape of the cyber mesh. Rough approximation is often more efficient and indistinguishable in gameplay. More, yeah, okay. Thought there was a one-way collider. Let me look through the list of colliders again. Polygon, capsule, mesh, terrain. Oh. Gotta be this edge collider. It's basically was one that you could go through the bottom of it and then land on it. So it's made for platformers basically. That you can jump from the ground below through the platform onto the platform but not fall back down through it. Anyway, so we could have a edge collider there, edge collider there, edge collider there, edge collider there. That'll keep the number of colliders down. What's that?
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go find something to munch on.
Yep. We'd have to put holes in those colliders though for exits. Okay, let's just go with it. We're gonna split up the world. Scene. DESERT. And we need this. Copy. Save. Paste. And delete. And we're just gonna start deleting this. All this stuff really. I just wanted to paste it in to get the structure. Scroll as much as we can. Select a nice big old area. And we'll start with the ground and go up from there. Collisions. Goodbye, collisions. Here comes the lag. Should turn it off first. Just turn off the lighter for them. Okay. Deco. Top deco. Oh, looks like it's everything. Okay. Let's go here and that should hopefully center us. I don't know. Turn collisions back on. We'll save this, and this is where our level can be. So this is going to be desert, right? So let's go to our desert tile map. Let's fill this in a great big area. Oh, way too big. Zoom in. Okay, let's get really zoomed in here.
Let's come back.
Okay.
That's why that's that color.
Okay. Gosh, I don't know how big to make this yet. Awesome. Doing it on the wrong layer. Round. Okay. And then this. Yeah. Come on. What? Come on. There. Giving it a border for everything. We might have to change where the border exists later, but gives us a nice area to work in. Wife's sending me funny things she's finding on Reddit. It's not that one, it's this one. Nope, it's not that one. How is it this one? Oh no. It looks like it should be this one, but it's not because it's an inside corner. I need to make another texture out of this. I'm gonna start on this. We may not finish this tonight. I want to see how fast I can do it with what we've learned from the other one. Marquee this. new sand hill inside corners. Paste that in. Creating some layers here. Let's select our key. One of those. Go Shift C. Shift V. That is not the right size. And it's skewed or something. How did that even happen? Yep, it's slightly bigger than it needs to be.
You had me kind of afraid when the server went down.
What, when the server went down?
When the server was down, I thought I left the chicken farm on.
You're breaking up too much. Something about the mod.
When the server was down, I thought the chicken or the cow farm broke the server.
Oh, no. We had a power outage and I forgot to turn the server back on.
That's why I just. It's like, did I turn that off? Yeah.
It's all good. Wouldn't be the first time that somebody's mob farm crashed if that did happen, so.
I actually crashed a decent sized server once. Kind of by myself.
Yeah.
They weren't too happy. I ended up building a chicken farm, and they didn't allow hoppers. Yeah, they didn't allow hoppers, but hopper minecarts you could use. So I rigged everything with a hopper minecart for adding items into the system. Then I had to transport all the items on around with dispensers. So then I had to fire all those with redstone.
Hmm.
And this was a chicken farm. It feeds itself. So I forget. I think I had it running, or one of my friends turned it on and forgot to turn it off. It ended up crashing the entire server.
Oops.
Every single time we logged on. Like,
Oh, yeah,
The lag got really bad, but it just flat out crashed the server when we hopped on.
Yeah, so as soon as those chunks load, it's got to
Yeah.
load all those entities. Assuming it was a vanilla server or something, then it doesn't have chunk loaders unless you're in spawn.
It was a Skyblocks world.
Oh, okay.
So even then, it still has an added benefit of not loading really anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got tired of it, and they finally do a slash kill, and they end up killing
Oh yeah.
an ungodly amount of chickens
Mhm.
because it just continually feed itself.
Yeah, it's kind of the only way to fix something like that. So we've had similar problems with villagers, and we are on a vanilla server, like straight up vanilla, no commands, no extra commands, right? So there was no /kill on that version, and we had like 300 villagers in a 1x1 block. That does not go well on a Minecraft server. They start bouncing into each other, which gives each one velocity, and then the faster they go, the more they hit, and it just quickly goes into lag city. Anyway, so the solution we came up with was somebody with the best computer among us gets into that area and is in creative and has splash damage potions, and you throw that at the villagers, and you just hear this massive like millions of times, right? And all of a sudden your frame rate just goes from like 2 to like half, right? And you see all these villagers just go poof and disappear, and it's the next thing you see. Oh. But it worked.
Oh, now I gotta sit here and do the math. How many was that? Build a double chest of chicken, raw chicken meat.
Double chest of chicken?
Yeah.
Dang. This is not going to be easy, I just realized what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I had over 3,000 chickens. So the story behind the chicken farm was my brother-in-law asked me, like, have you ever crashed a server? I go, yeah, I've crashed a few by accident. So he goes, well, I want to test this computer out and how well it performs on being a server. It's like, okay, well, it's going to take me a little bit of time, but if you throw me in creative, then I can kind of get it to crash pretty soon. So as I'm building this thing, he's messed around with about 300 TNT or so, and trying to crash the server, and it doesn't crash, and doesn't crash. It bogs it down, but just doesn't crash.
Yeah.
So I built this machine, and the entity cramming with chickens partly applies, but if you have it like on a weird level, then it doesn't affect it. I found out. So I hovered right above the chickens for about 2 or 3 minutes. So all of the chickens did not move around, and I had the machine firing eggs. I had 7 of them, and they were all completely filled. And I had to have 2 hoppers going into the dispenser to keep up.
Huh.
So that's how quickly this thing fires out eggs. And I end up falling down off the pedestal up where I was building at, and it completely crashed the game. Just instantly crashed it. He went to the logbook to find out what happened, and the logbook didn't even say what happened. It just says it had a problem. It's like it would usually say entity cramming or something along that lines, but chickens do not apply to that book. I've found that out.
Oh, dang. Let's see. So I smooth this now. I'm doing something that'll work visually for this specific texture, but I don't know it's going to connect to the other ones. This is my only problem. Like, what I've got here is pretty stinking close already to working for just these 4. Alright, and then I just need to expand that. That's weird. Just got a message from the app work uses to say, hey, your paycheck's there. It just now got it. It's technically Saturday. I get paid on Fridays. Oh. Hope the money was there when I needed it.
Somebody had a bad day of billing.
Yeah, something. And like they use one of the big payroll companies, right? So
Mhm.
lots of people had a bad day if that's the case. Come on, smooth out that little tiny bit, please. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it. I'll do this. Shift B. Ta-da!
Now it just looks odd.
I know. As soon as I did it, I'm like, wait, rocks won't be perfectly straight. Okay, there it is. Let's see if it works. Make it into a tile. PSD, this one. 128. Sprite editor. Apply. We're going to. I can't slice. I didn't do this. Apply. Centers, delete existing by size. 128, 128. We're gonna go apply. We're going to do point filtering. Yes, apply. Take all of those and put it in our desert area. And they're all jarbled up somehow. They're only 3x3 inside the texture, so why would it want to do this, you know? It doesn't make any sense. But it does. Come on. Do that. Move these. Oop. Select this one. Move it there. Select all this. Move it over one. Like that. Move that over one. Can you tell I've had to do this before? Boom. Okay, now I pull this back down and see if it fits in the corner. I'm going to suspect that the edge here won't line up with this, and this edge won't line up with it either. And then I'll get mad and go to bed. That's pretty bad. I expected it to be bad. I did not expect that level of bad. I get why, though.
What do we need?
Yeah, this is off because I added stuff in. That's going to be easier to fix, right? That
Yeah.
part. This here just needs to be broke right there at that block. And the same here. Cut it off. It's the same thing we did before.
Yeah.
When I made these, I made the stones shorter than what they were on the normal block, and this is the normal block, so we need to make it shorter here too. So it needs cut like at this, I think.
Give me the brush tool, dang it. Oh. Why you no paint?
Have you selected a color?
Yeah, I got black selected.
Okay.
Oh, it's not on the brush anymore. That's what was wrong. Okay, where was it? It was like that area.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wah, aha! I called it.
We need to go till, okay, that rock. Yep.
Won't you sing out your frustration? Just say a word. Keep on staring at the pavement. God knows who hurt.
We're gonna need to smooth this once I'm done too. That'll make a big difference in how it looks.
Echoing inside your wall.
Did you almost like caress that moon and shave it, or that rock and shave it down?
Nothing's gonna save us from our doubts. Nothing's gonna
Did I caress the rock when I shaved it down? What?
Yeah. I'm in the same time, so at least give me that. Can you cut down on the rock so it makes a moon shape crescent out of it a little bit more? Because I think that rock's going to just look big and out of place.
Oh.
There we go. I can say it now.
I hope not. We'll find out in a minute. If it does look big and out of place, then I might leave the rock that was here. I may bring it back.
Not that one. The one that's still there.
This one you're talking about, right?
The one on the top left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
keep on acting out like strangers. Scream out loud.
Okay. I can go all the way over here with it.
Nothing changes, so change your heart. Ooh, your mind is a ghost town, echoing inside your walls, 5 feet underground now. Nothing's gonna save us from our doubts.
Whoop.
Nothing's gonna make us spell.
Had the eraser tool selected. I think that's lined up. It's just the blurriness is not applied on this yet. Hmm. Getting some green back in there. Okay, so Shift B, get rid of these. Oh, get rid of those, I said. I think that looks okay, that rock being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing wrong with that corner now is the blurriness. Look how much we took out of that thing. It's a mighty bit smaller than it was before. Okay, so...
Then we need to do that 3 more times, or you need to do that 3 more times.
Yeah, which means I need to grab and actually put it in where it's gonna go. No, not like that. So I can see how much I need to trim off, whatever. Okay, that visually helps me a lot. It's being able to see that. So it's this whole rock and that whole rock need to go. This whole rock and that
Put
whole
a
rock.
dot on the other side.
Shift B, Shift B. Shift B again. Yeah, that general area. And then for that one, it's pretty much that rock. It's there. We just gotta trace from there to there then.
I'd say the rock that's cut off, take that one out, take the next one out, and leave those nice 2 curved ones there.
These ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that almost looks natural on that bend.
Like a
there.
corner, yeah. So let's see if I can do this. I want to try a different technique for this one. I'm gonna favor the outside edge just so I can get rid of most of this stuff real quick. And then we'll clean it up. Dang it. How do you use a stupid lasso tool? There we go. Okay, that's how you do it. Nope, 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 nope. Those are gonna go anyway.
Yeah.
Ah, wrong thing. There. General shapes, right?
Yep.
Gotta stop leaning on that shoulder.
I think you need to adjust that corner where the big rock and that little rock meet. Just bring that in a little bit more with the sand.
Okay, there's two little rocks. Which one do you mean? The one on the bottom?
The one on the top there.
On the top. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like all the dark right there?
Yeah, that really dark spot.
Yeah, when I go to blur that, that'll stay dark for a long time. Probably need to clean up that edge a lot all along there, because it's pretty dark. Better. Need to deal with that, though. Must get even closer. Enhance. Something out of CSI. Enhance. That does it for me. That looks close.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Same there. Once I blur it, it's gonna look pretty good. Okay, so now the other corner. Okay, so it's the one. Right. The one right there, right? What it needs to match up against. Okay, and that's gonna go over to what? I think to there.
Yeah, about where that.
Yep. So if we lasso what? Down through here. Around. Yep, it gets us close. So I just need to clean up.
I would say leave that medium-sized rock there.
This is already cut in half though, so we wouldn't have the shadow edge around it, the black.
True.
Whoa. Clicked on the scroll bar and it jumped. Don't like how pointy these are. That's better. Oh no, got too much. That's doable. And then the last one. I guess we know where the points are in this one, because it's where we've cut up to that point.
Yep.
So here, and I guess there, which we cut off some of that rock by mistake. Bonk. Oops.
I think you'd remove that rock.
Kind of matches up with what we did over here a little bit. There's a big rock with two.
True.
We'll see how it looks when we get it all together. Look at these big chunks real quick. Just sit right. Keep slouching. What you laughing at? You read my
You
shirt?
need one of those. No, you need one of those comfy chairs that cost $3,000.
This one wasn't cheap. It was like $300. It's supposed to be so comfortable because it's built like a car seat. I guess car seats aren't that comfortable.
Only when they're bucket seat.
Yeah.
And
This
yes,
is
I did
like-
read your shirt already.
Okay.
I don't see the bottom of it, but I did. Read list.
Programmers, one who fixes problems you didn't know you had in a way you don't understand. That was one of my
Yeah.
Christmas presents from my wife.
That just reminds me of my sister's shirt.
What's it say?
On hers, it's $50 an hour. It's $75 an hour if you're watching me. It's $100 an hour if you want to sit there and point out the mistakes. It's $350 if I got fix something that you welded on.
Kind of looks like a turtle.
Kind of does.
There's a leg, there's a leg, there's a leg, and I don't know, there's Stumpy, I guess. And there's his head. I'm okay with that. It looks unique.
I'm sitting here tilting my head looking at it as well.
Let's see, so... I didn't do the insides when I was doing all this.
I think you just blend it. Just go ahead and blend it on how it is. See how it turns out.
Alright, I gotta get close though, I think, for it to... There. That's good enough. Who made these so far apart? That looks good. Good, and I think we already tested the first one, but I'll look at it one more time. Yep. Okay, so now we need the blur tool. And we'll just do one swizzle there. And one there. Save. And another one there. Save. And one last one. That all looks good. That looks good. This is not blurred at all. That edge somehow got missed. No idea how we did that, but I did that. So is that edge. It's only the bottom that got blurred. Probably had the wrong layer selected or something. So that means we need to fix the other one again. Oh, great. I just saved it like that. Save it like this. And we got the blur tool ready. Right. Let's not have just a portion of it selected though, so it does the whole image. 1, 2, I think we did 3 originally.
I want to say on the third or fourth line down. See that pointy rock?
This? That's because I didn't have that turned on.
No, not that. On the inside.
On the inside. What's wrong with inside? This part?
I want to say look. Yeah, that one. I don't know why it just, to me, it just looks weird.
Oh, but I went to blurred again then. Oh, is that gonna mess it up? It's gonna be extra blur there.
Blur it once or twice. Okay.
That looks better from this perspective. Let's make sure the outside. Yeah, we're good. Do these line up? Good enough.
He must have just made rocks, then piled the rocks on top of one another to get this pattern.
They took all of the rocks out of the desert and they piled them up around the desert. That's why you can't get out of the desert.
No, I'm saying the
Yeah, I know what you mean.
creator of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that tile almost has no rock in it at all. Same with that one. And that one has no rock. There's 4 tiles in the corners. These two just barely have any, and there's no point in having them part of this, right? They're the same as this.
Yeah.
I'll leave them there because it'll make selecting it and painting it easier. But it's just funny. And what's even funnier is I bet I did. Yup. Amazing. I painted that all in the ground layer. I'm so smart. Okay. It is now way too late for tech to be up still. So good night, everyone. Follow for next
everybody.
time.